All right, good morning, lovelies. I hope that this video is finding you all happy and healthy and safe and not too bored. Can you believe that we are on week 6 of distance learning? In some ways, it feels like we have been doing this forever, and in other ways, it feels like it was just yesterday that I was looking at you all. I miss you all so much, and I know that once we come back to school, we are going to come back to school even stronger than before. And I look forward to that day when we actually get to do our warm-ups on stage, and we get to do skits, and we get to do tableaus. And I hope that you all are looking forward to it too. All right, so I'm going to be doing these videos on Mondays and Fridays. Both times I'm going to kind of go over assignments and expectations. Okay, I'm going to answer our questions of the day. But remember that if you have any types of questions at all, that you all can email me or you can message me on Google Classroom, and I am here to help you all. All right, so our question today was, what is something that you did this weekend, and be specific. All right, so this weekend I was getting a little stir crazy in my apartment, so I decided to go on a drive, and we went on a drive through a couple neighborhoods that we hopefully one day want to buy a house in. We picked up some coffee, we listened to some music, and it was just nice to get out of the apartment, roll down the windows because the weather was so nice, and kind of have a change of scenery. I totally recommend that you all go on walks. I recommend that you all go to the grocery store with your parents, even if that just means you stay in the car, because sometimes you feel so confined in our apartments and our houses. It's nice just to get some fresh air, and the change of scenery is so good for your mental health. All right, so that's kind of what I did this weekend. I watched a lot of The Office. I'm still trying to finish that up. I played with my cat a little bit, and I got to FaceTime my sister, who is graduating this year, but sadly isn't having a graduation. So kind of just getting, to talk to her was really nice as well. All right, so make sure that y'all are answering those questions of the day every single day. I have a spreadsheet now, a Google Sheet with all of your names, and I just put a check mark when you all answer those, all right? And what I do with that is I get to see who is getting the information and who isn't. All right, it's a great way for me to see who has the technology to be able to communicate with me and maybe who doesn't. And I forward that information to Mr. Hernandez, who forwards it to the district, just to make sure that everyone here has the opportunity and has the means to complete their schoolwork. All right, I enjoy reading those every single morning with my coffee and replying to those. So even if you see them and you're like, oh, it's not that important, I'll just do the assignment, it is important because it is a way for me to make sure that you are on Google Classroom and that we are communicating back and forth. And it makes me feel like I'm a little bit closer to you all. So please, please make sure that you are answering those. All right? So moving forward, this week's assignment. You all are going to be writing a duet scene on social distancing that takes place on a ship. Now, a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, I don't know if you all watched the news, there were a couple of cruise ships that were out and about, and when they docked at their final destination, they took the temperatures of people who were on the ships, and they found out that a couple people actually tested positive for COVID-19. Well, you all know how contagious it is. When you're in a cruise ship and you're really close to everyone, they didn't let anyone on the cruise ship leave. All right, so they had to stay quarantined on a cruise ship for 2 weeks. All right, the cruise ship wasn't moving. The cruise ship was just docked. And if you all are feeling stir crazy in your apartment or your houses, imagine being in a literal box, okay? I don't know if y'all have seen rooms in cruise ships, but usually there's bunk beds. They're very confined, and not all of them have windows that look outside. So if you can imagine actually being there and not being able to leave your room for 2 weeks, that's kind of what they were going through. All right, I'll post a couple articles for you guys to kind of peruse and look at that. It was a crazy, crazy time. They interviewed a couple people. I'll upload those as well. And I really want you all to create a duet scene. So writing in our playwriting format, dialogue and action, which I will post a little review of what that means at the bottom. It's crazy, okay? So you guys are gonna be writing a duet scene. Now, this is very similar to our social monologues. On the assignment, the first page kind of tells you what's expected of you, what the assignment is, and it gives you some parameters. All right, so you guys are gonna have to choose one topic for your scene. Some of the topics include the last roll of toilet paper, which is a real thing, a reformed thief, which means someone who used to steal but doesn't steal anymore, an apology. You guys get to choose one of those to put in your scene. Okay, so that's kind of the first page. The second page are brainstorming questions. Okay, and they're kind of to get your brain in the idea of a scene, to make your scene a little bit deeper than just normal. All right, and some of those questions are, where is it? Okay, so I want you to think about where this ship is. Is it in Italy? okay? For those of you watching the news, y'all know that Italy is having a very tough time with all of this, especially in the recent weeks, okay? So is your cruise ship in Italy? Is your cruise ship in Japan? Is your cruise ship in China? So kind of thinking about that and thinking about how the location of it kind of affects it. All right, so if you're docked in Italy, are your people Italian? If you're docked in Japan, are your people Japanese, or are they traveling to Japan for the first time? So thinking about the location, make it interesting, all right? Your ship could be anywhere, all right? Pick any country that interests you, do a little research on it, it'll be really fun. All right, the second questions are asking you to kind of describe your characters. All right, it's really easy just to give our characters a name, but what I really want you to think about are their age, occupation, what's their job, fun fact about them, why are they on the cruise? So answer those questions as well. All right, what's the conflict in the scene? Did y'all hear my cat? Opal, shh. She's crazy. What's the conflict in the scene? And then which one did you choose? Which one of those parameters did you choose? Did you choose the last roll of toilet paper, the thief one, the apology? And then the third page is when you actually start writing your duet scene. All right, the last time we had our social monologues, a lot of you all just answered those questions, those brainstorming questions, and turned it in. Do not do that, okay? I will return it back to you and then tell you, hey, you need to write your scene at the bottom. All right, so make sure that you are writing those scenes at the bottom. If you have any questions about that assignment, email me, message me on Google Classroom, I'm here to help. All right, this week's vocabulary is going to be on Greek theater, okay? Ancient Greece was kind of the birthplace of modern theater as we know it, so I'm gonna give y'all a couple of vocabulary lessons about that and look for your quiz on Friday. All right. The next thing I'm going to talk to y'all about today is grades. The district has come out and kind of given us parameters about grades. Teachers are taking grades, okay? You still have to do your work even if you're at home, okay? And if you're having trouble completing your work, then you need to let us know as teachers so we can relay that to the district, or you let Mr. Hernandez know, let your parents know so they can contact us, because if we see that you're not doing the work and we don't know why, then we're just gonna have to put incomplete. And what that means is that you're actually gonna have to complete your work in the summer and do summer school. And I don't know about you all, but I want my summer to just chill out, and I'm sure that you all do too. So finish your work. Remember that you can turn in things late for me, you can turn in things late for your other teachers, and there's no penalty. All right, and if you have questions about the work, if it's not making sense, we are here to help you all, okay? I, for one, sit in my little area from like 9 to noon, and then I take a little break, and then from 1 to 3, I'm on my email and I am patrolling that to answer questions for you all. So please, please make sure that y'all are keeping up with your grades, okay? And if you have questions about grades, just let us know. All right, I miss y'all, I love y'all, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye.